Well, hello everybody, and I even remembered to take the mute off. Well, I want to give it just a few more minutes and let everybody have a chance to find us. And I hope you are all enjoying our pop hop. Okay, that's a lot of words. Our pop up hop for the 4th of July, and we thought it would be really fun to bring you these projects. Hi, Kelly, to keep you just having a great time this weekend. And don't forget, you don't have to make your 4th of July projects in advance. You can also make them after you get the photos. And that's what I kind of like to do with what I call these mid-year holidays, because they're great holidays, but you don't need that big album. Well, sometimes maybe you do. Oh, well, thanks mostly, Debbie, to the designers, and thank you to Sandy Trefker for all her hard work getting this all put together for us. Not only is she a great design team coordinator, but she's also great coordinating when when she sees the need. She is just wonderful. My project today, I am using Land That I Love. It is an older doodlebug paper. So cute. I couldn't stand it. I had to get it out. And it is available, what we have left, online, and it doesn't take much. So you may already have Land That I Love from Doodlebug in your stash, or you may have one of their others, or you may have one of mine or Echo Park Cartabella. It doesn't matter. This is going to be a great project for any one of those. Hi, Cindy. So I had already got on my ephemera. Now, like I said, this is an older line, and I don't want to talk wrong here. I wish Jen was on, but I think Doodlebug has cut back on using faces. It doesn't matter. Love it. It's just happy. It makes you feel happy. It's just great. So if you are using Land That You Love, just make sure you want to sort out big ones, smaller ones, and then your words. Just makes it easier, especially when you're wanting to find things quick. So what I created was a little folio, and we're going to have a belly band that will put and layer all of our decorations on to make it fun. And because, of course, I've already used these, I'll be using different ones from the pack. So I'm going to set that up here at the top. And then the little folio, again, you can put photos anywhere you like. But I did use our 100-pound artisan cardstock. And then that's the fun thing. When it opens, we have this here, and they have July on there. So, but you can also use it for little tiny photos. Mine is 2.5, and I'm going to talk to you about, when we're cutting our little pockets, how to make this bigger. You can never make these wider, but you can make them taller. And the reason for that is it has to be able, watch, to fold up. Hi, Kathy. And then inside here, I took their 8-inch by 3-inch journaling cards, which were perfect. Photos on the back, and then I just layered ephemera up at the top. Great place to journal about the day. And then I'll put some small photos on the back. And again, another one of the journals. And then we just have our pockets here, and you can also put more ephemera. You can tuck a photo back behind there, and that's what we're going to create for my pop-up YouTube for the 4th of July. Isn't it cute, though? It's just very happy, very fun, and let's get started. Like I mentioned, I did use 100-pound cardstock for the shell. Our artisan, and we do sell it in the 12 by 12. If you don't have 100-pound, it's okay. It's going to work. Okay, so let's get started with the cardstock. Oh, and another thing that I did use, so I did get everything cut out, that I did use from Doodlebug was the textured cardstock. Hi, Suzette. And I used the red and the blue. And this is also the same colors that that go with, well, it goes with all their papers, as you can see, but especially it went with the doggone cute paper collection. So it's listed there as, hi Tanya, it's listed as the coordinating solid. All you need is 2 sheets. And here are the sheets that I chose. So I am using Family Picnic. Excuse me, Family Picnic. So Family Picnics this way. I'll give you all the cutting guide sizes here in just a moment. And then the second one I'm using is America the Beautiful. I loved the plaid. That's all. And then you just need a cut apart sheet, and preferably the 2x2 or the 2.5 by 2.5. Oh, Diane, a pot of coffee sounds really good, actually. And I will give you these measurements. So be ready to write them down as we go. So let's get started with our shell of our folio. And like I mentioned, so the dogs heard me talking, and down they come. Let me tell you. Like I mentioned, I am using 100 pound. You don't have to use 100 pound, so don't let that scare you away from the project, because it's just we have it in now, and I'm so happy because it does make your folios really strong. It is only in white though right now. So your first piece is going to be 8 3/4 long and 8 1/4. So grab your notebook and start writing these down. 8 3/4 by 8 1/4. And I went through and washed my board and everything before I start working with white, but it's like a magnet. White cardstock and yellow cardstock. Our second piece is 8 1/2 by 8 1/4. So 8 3/4 by 8 1/4 and 8 1/2. Because let me show you. This one will sit on the inside, and it is, as you can see, it's going to be 1/8 of an inch shorter on each side, and that is correct. That's what you want. Keep our fingers crossed that those two don't start wrestling. She's our new puppy. She's starting to get getting very brave and vocal at 12 weeks. Let me tell you. She's giving those boys a run for their money. Okay, we want to start 8 3/4 at the top of our scoreboard. And I want you to score at 4 1/8 and 4 5/8. Now, if you're using 100 pound cardstock, I am going to turn it over and just lightly rescore at 4 1/8 and 4 5/8 on the artisan cardstock. And I'm going to do this again at 4 1/8 and 4 5/8. It really does help break the fibers on those score lines. It does for me anyway. Try it and see what you think. Now for our inside piece, with our 8 1/2 across the top of your scoreboard. Hi, Christine. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. We'll be thinking of you. 8 1/2 across the top of your scoreboard. And let's score at 4 and 4 1/2. Again, I'm going to turn it because I'm using 100 pound and rescore at 4 and 4 1/2. And again at 4 and 4 1/2. Okay. I want to go ahead and we're going to give you the measurements. We'll do all of our scoring. So we have a belly band, and it is 1 1/2 by 12. Now I already did wrap this around my book because I did it here. And so I was able to get these score lines. I am going to hold off on these score lines so that you can wrap yours. If you're not using 100-pound cardstock, yours might not be as heavy as mine. So this one I will come back to. But we have a 2.5-inch piece by 12. And this is the pop-up here at the bottom. And we want to score at 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And for this, I'm just using 100-pound piece. And I mean, I'm just using normal artisan cardstock. I'm not using 100-pound piece. You can just set that aside for now. And I'm going to start with our 8 3/4-inch piece, and we just want to burnish our score lines. Now, when using the 100-pound cardstock, it's very possible you'll get a little more. You might get just some popping of the seams because it's so heavy. Nothing drastic. It's just a little bit there. But it's nice and heavy. Okay, I want to talk about this piece because you might want to create this piece taller. You may have a different paper than I do, but you can make this taller. You can't make these little pieces wider. These will always be 2 inches because that's just how this little folio is, but you can make them taller. So when we cut this inside piece, which you'll see in a moment, you cut your pocket to whatever height you have created our pop-up element. So I hope that makes sense. So I created one that was 2.5 to fit the little doodle bug 2.5 by 2.5, but I still have to cut them down because I can't go any wider. So you can go taller, and then you would cut this. Say I wanted to go 4 inches, so I'd cut my pocket to 4 so that this first and last will fit the pocket and not hang over the edge. It's really a fun project, so you can personalize it also as you're working. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and burnish our score line for the inside piece, and then we are going to do the cutting. And for this, I do want a pencil. And you can cut this stuff. You can cut it on your cutter, or you can cut it using a knife, a box knife, however you like. But right now I'm going to turn it. So I have the 8 1/4 at the top, and I want to make a tick mark right on that edge at 2.5 inches from the bottom. Now I'm going to turn this, and I put mine for the opposite side because let me show you. Here it is. For me, it's easier to turn it over and cut it. We're going to be cutting this. Hope you see what I mean. It's easier for me to cut this way than to try. I know I'm really weird. But you mark it 2.5 inches from the bottom where it's comfortable for you. Okay, everybody should be caught up. Now, from your score line to your tick mark, now we want to cut this. So if you can, I think I did do this in my cutter, but you can definitely put it in your cutter. So there's my tick mark on this back side. And my score line up at the top. And you're going to cut that right off. Now, what I did before, even though my tick mark is there, but if you do not trust yourself, just lay that piece down and let's cut it again, but we want to get rid of that pencil line, of course. And now it looks like an airplane. Leave your, well, we can also, I'll leave it here just in case, but we can cut. So that is going to be our centerpiece. And now we do want to mat this before we put it in our book. We want to do all the matting now before we put this inside of the shell. It's going to fit right on top. It's going to fit snugly in our score lines. And it does not go all the way to the edge. Oh, and a birthday hat. It does look like a birthday hat. It doesn't go to the edge because I didn't want a bunch of bulk there, even though we're going to put our other piece across it. So now we need to cut all of our matting and let's get this all matte. It's so fun. This is going to be a fun, even if you want to use it as a card. Okay, for the outside, my coordinating cardstock that I cut 4 pieces because 2 will go on the inside and 2 will go on the outside. And I cut these guys at 3 5/8 by 7 7/8. There goes the puppy. I'll try and catch her if she gets too rowdy. Then, oh, she wants to say hello. She's starting to become a paper eater too. She loves to eat paper. Okay, so then I cut 4. 2 will be my cover and 2 is going to be the inside. And I'm just going to do them identical. And she has a cord. Come here, Rugrat. Come here. Come say hello. Say hello. Can you lay down and say hello? See how little you are? Say hello, everybody. I love to get into everything, and I love Mom's desk because she's got lots of paper to eat. She's a really cute puppy. She's a sweetheart. Okay, we are going to cut these at 3 5/8 by 7 7/8. I don't think I told you right here. These are 8 1/8. I am so sorry. So the matting, the red matting, is 8 1/8. 3 7/8 by 8 1/8. And if you are cutting along with me and cut it too short, throw me those swear words. No. Yeah, let me just tell hubby. We thought she would be really good. But she's not, so he's going to have to come and get her. Let's just glue all these down. So once again, 3 7/8 by 8 1/8. 3 5/8 by 7 7/8. Oh, this has just got a cord again. We get the glue. Oh, you got her? Oh, yeah. She's got to go. I'm sorry. Many of you were there when Wilbur was a new puppy. And every time I would videotape, he would howl. And then Homer, our second beagle, he was such a good boy. We had no problems. And I think Charlotte's going to be like, she's going to be like Wilbur. And I'm okay with that, actually. Oh, thank you, Diane. She's a sweetheart. She's really a good girl for a beagle. Now, I really love this paper. I love the B-sides, and you're going to find this with Doodlebug. You can use the B-sides for a lot of different things. They're not just for the 4th of July on all of their papers. This one, I would use birthday party for a boy in a heartbeat because it's so pretty. And it is. It's boy. It screams boy. Yes, Homer's getting better with her. He's the middle child. He was a little, jealous. And he is getting much better at not being mean to her. Oh, Diane, I agree. I've been looking at all the projects. Super cute, super fun. And I should have brought it down to show you guys. So I'm going to have to pull a Sally at the end. Unless I can get my hubby to run it down. And I did make it with artisan paper, so I do want you to see it. And he's been so good about helping me out with the videos. I've been filming all weekend for those paid tutorial kits we made. So he's just been really good. He's been helping me with the dogs, bringing me down things when I ask, and I feel terrible asking him to do this and that. Oh, Alice, if you have a little bit of this paper, it only takes about 2 sheets. Yeah, this is quite a few years old. I had brought this one in, and I actually made a project with it, and I'm trying to find it. It was a Do-Si-Do album, and it was my favorite. And you know what? I don't know what happened to the album either. I think one of my children came down and lifted it out of my craft room. Okay, that takes a few minutes, but nothing terrible. And so we want to map the outside and we want to map the inside. And I do have a cutting guide for this. I just have to fix a couple of quantities, and then I will, hi Sheila, I will post this for you on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations. Just blame Sally. Just blame Sally for what? Where is Sally? Oh, Sheila, I'll bet it's a lot cooler up in Oregon than it is here today. Here in Utah, it's 90. So that means where Sheila lives in southern Utah, it's got to be at least 100. But I'm downstairs in my studio, which I just love. Oh, the album missing. Oh, that is a possibility. But usually she tells me. My studio's freezing, and I even have the vents closed. Oh, let's see. We will mat the inside of here. And I'll do that in just a second. Okay. Now my front. Now on this one, I cut with the 1/4-inch borders because I wanted it to look like white, red. I wanted to give it more of a triple matting look. So you could even go wider with your matting if you want. But I was looking for that layered, really layered look. Now it's pretty hot here today, but you know what? I love it. It's okay. I will keep it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cut the pieces that go in the center. And we're going to need to cut them for just this outside, which is our second piece. So we don't have to do the inside for the shell, but we need to do the outside. And it's the one that's 8 1/4. So I want to use, and you will have, you should have a piece left over if you're cutting from your 12 by 12 sheets. This one I don't have. I don't think it's long enough. Nope, it might be for the inside. I love this, but I love the cut aparts even more. Aren't they adorable? So they're just true journaling spots. True journaling spots. Okay, so I'm going to cut all my pieces from here, and we'll just put the plaid. For the outside along there. You could leave it plain too if you want. Oh, Joyce, you know what? This is the, I'm waiting for more to come in because I sell them, but right now the company doesn't have any more. They're the Scrap Perfect, and they are perfect. Let me tell you, you just put that there. So hopefully they'll have more in soon. I hope they haven't discontinued them because I'll be really, really sad. But I'm going to cut a strip that's 3/8 of an inch wide. I'm going to attempt. I never can get this cutter right. I always say, wish me luck. I'm on the hunt. See, I can never get it right with this. I'm on the hunt. I need a personal cutter. I do love this one. I really do, but I can't stand not being able to do the little cuts. And here's the thing. I don't want to have to buy blades. Can you imagine how many blades I go through? Let's see, we need to cut this at 8 1/8. So if anybody has a recommendation for a personal cutter that will make small cuts, I'd love to know. Hey, Froggy. And see, it doesn't cut. I can't get this. I can't get my little cut straight unless I'm working off of a 12 by 12. So I'm going to grab another piece of this wonderful paper. You know what? The whole paper is just adorable. You know what? I love my Stampin' Up too, Debbie, but I don't want to buy blades anymore. I know. I want one that's self-sharpening. I do love it. And Debbie, I know you craft a lot too. Hi, Wendy. So you've got to go through a ton of blades. Okay, now I can make my 3/8 of an inch cut. Hopefully straight. I just really need, yeah, that's my problem. It's too many blades. Much better. So cutting reverse, I can always do it well. It's the smaller pieces I just can't. And also, I have not found, I'm going to go ahead and cut another piece because we'll need it for we're going to need it for this inside. I have not found a Stampin' Up! Person like close to me. So that's kind of another problem. I can't always. Yeah, you do have to hold the paper and push your blade. Okay, now I've got my 3/8 of an inch pieces and put that back. And we will now, remember this one, this one is the same length. 8 1/8. There we go. And that's going to go on the inside. We don't have to put another one on the inside because this covers it. Yeah, I've gotten used to holding the paper, so I'm okay there. It's just if I have this small piece like this, I cannot cut my 1/2 inches. I have to start with the 12 by 12. So with that cutter, I'm very conscious that I do all my small cuts first on my 12 by 12 paper. Wendy, you will love this paper. Well, this is an older one, but it's in the store, Land That I Love by Doodlebug. Okay. I'm going to work on this in a minute. And this is my outside. So cute. Just makes you happy. You know what, Stacy? I know. I just love this. I do love this. I need to get another stamping. In fact, I need a couple more. The Stampin' Up! Cutters really are ideal for small cuts. Okay. The matting. So we have to do each one separate. It's 3 3/4 by 7 7/8. Oh, Kathy, I need to know about that. And here's the thing. As you can see, we are going to have to cut this to fit, right? So once again, if you have the Easy Runner, this is the green cartridge is your repositional. So this is what I do. Love it. I just put a little dot there. And we're going to lay this down because we have to cut each piece separate. Hi, Denise. Happy 4th of July weekend. Now, a couple of things. You can just go ahead and cut it with your knife if you're feeling like you can keep things straight. If you don't feel like you can keep things straight, which is me today, I will draw a line. Some days I can. Today is not one of them. And then I just clean off that adhesive, grab my cutter, that off. Check my fit, and it looks like I just need to trim the bottom. Nope, maybe not. You don't see this. And this is why I had you cut this 3 3/4. We're putting this on top. And I didn't bring it to the edge for a reason. I don't want it to be too bulky. So if you're looking at this thinking, oh my gosh, she cut it too short, it does appear that way. I'm going to trim this just a hair. I don't usually trim on my angles because it can mess your angle up. Well, it messes my angle up. But anyway, it is shorter there. But you're not going to see that. We don't want the bulk. Okay, that looks good. And I'm going to do each one separate only because, thank you, Kathy. I want to make sure the angles are correct. So once we sit this down, enough that temporary adhesive. That gun is worth it for this, and it's so lightweight. So as long as you've got it good and you're happy, we now need, hi Linda, we need to grab the pattern paper that's going to sit on top, and your pattern paper for this one is 3 5/8 by 7 3/4. Okay, I'm going to repeat. I'm just going to, or however, you can put it down and use a clip. Trying to show you here because I want you to see that I'm still leaving my border around the edge, the 1/8 of an inch. And I'll turn it over. You can just use your finger too, that comes right off. And always cut to the inside of your pencil mark. Check your fit. And now's the time if you need to fix it. I guess this one might. Are you out of? No. Oh no, I'm not out of the Caterpillar trimmers. We just got some more in. I've got to go. I've got to count them and put them back online, Denise, and they'll be on tomorrow. And Caterpillar was out for a while. Actually, they'll be back on tonight. Because I take that back. They drop ship. What am I thinking? I just got to put the count that they gave me back on. Still need to trim this. Like I said, it is a good little trimmer, but you have to hold it down. There's not a bar there. And once you get used to it, it does take just a little getting used to it. Then you're used to it. It works. Okay. Now we can put this down. Okay, let's put this one in our book. Now remember, it is too short on purpose because we have to put our pop up there. Oh, I had the new Stampin' Up. I don't have it anymore. Morgan, who works for me at the store, it's hers now. She was never crafting, and she decided she loves to craft, but I gave it to her because I didn't want her. She's a new mommy, and they're just an adorable family. And oops, hubby hit the window with the ball, and she doesn't have the income, disposable when you have a new baby. So I gave her mine. So I need to buy a couple more because they really are good cutters. The Stampin' Up for your small cuts. Whoops, we don't want to do that. There we go. Well, hello, Amelia. I'm glad to see you popping in. Well, I hope they do last longer because buying blades is what? Well, hello, mermaid. Buying blades is what kills the crafters, right? We want to spend it on paper, not blades. I love, 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 love my big dolly, but again, I can't make small cuts. All right, come on. Thank you very much, Sharice. Yes, I am. Okay. I mean, this piece is just a little extra work, but nothing major. Oh, Bobby, that was so exciting that you got to get it cleaned and organized for your birthday. I know when Sally was here, we went to town on mine, and it does really give you a new, it's like, okay, I feel a little more organized. So cleaning our craft rooms, that's another great gift from your family to say, I want somebody for 4 hours to come in and clean my craft room, a professional, and tell them that's what you want for your birthday. Okay, let's make sure we burnish that up again because we need it nice. We need it nice and straight and flat. Love the 100-pound artisan. Okay, this, I'm going to stand it up, but I'll show you. This is going to sit right in the center there. Okay. And it's the best breath of fresh air. We're going to add adhesive But yeah, you don't want it on the sides because that's a pocket. It becomes a pocket. So keep your adhesive kind of up the center. And yeah, I need one for the whole house too lately. I'm going to stand it up, try and tilt it so you can see. Okay. Just put it right there in the center. Let our glitter glue catch for a minute. It's a tight fit, but it's what we want. I want you to fold it back over and reburnish because it's going to be tight. Okay, and I'm going to show you. You're going to be feeling like, because when you try to fold them together, it's even more tight, but I want you to still burnish it. Okay, pick it up together and reburnish it. Now, we're going to glue this down, and I don't want you just to glue it down like this. You know what? Well, I don't, Stacy, I don't think the permanent ATG gun is permanent because it comes right off for me, and they're about equal. So the only nice thing is with this, it's super light. And when you want to change it, you can change it in midstream. Say, I don't want to use the repositional. I want to add the permanent. For me, I've got the guns because so I don't have to change them midstream. But all you have to do is take your cartridge, and there's quite a bit on here, and pop a new one in. So we have these all in stock. Close the door and throw it across the room, and you're good to go. No, don't throw it. Oh my gosh, there goes my glue gun. It's nice and lightweight though. So the permanent, it's no more permanent than the other one. But this is perfect for someone just starting. I have used it on other things. Okay, when we glue this down, we're going to add our adhesive to this bottom to the top. But if you do it this way flat and then you try to close it, you're going to kind of be mad at me. So we're going to actually fold this over. We're going to fold it into each other. We're going to add our adhesive on the bottom, and I would use glue. If you don't, things might get stuck in your tape. But, oh, it's way easier to use. Trust me, even putting the cartridge in. And now fold this over and push on that score line. Yeah, it is a lot easier to use and not as frustrating. And then, see, it's going to fold really nice. Okay. Again, don't just glue it flat, because then when you go to close it, you're going to be like, it's not closing right. Okay, along the bottom and across. Now I'm just going to push on the score line and push it over. I'll have to look at that. Cindy, do you have to buy blades? Again, that's what I'm trying to avoid. Okay, and just like that, we have our little pocket done. So you don't even have to put the mechanism on. But that's the fun part, right? Okay, so there's our shell. And you can see how nice it opens without, whoops, and then it comes off because it's not dry. Okay, let's try this again. Let's clothespins do the work so we can keep working. Oh, but it's not self-sharpening. Okay, so we'll let that dry and let's work on the piece that we scored in the beginning. That's 12 inches long, 12 and a half wide. We already scored it at 2, 2, 2, and at 2, 4, 6, and 8, and 10. Okay, I'm just going to fold it in half. I'm going to fold it in half again, only because the cardstock's a little bit heavier. Okay, but you do want it down. You want it in a V. Okay, this one will stay down like so. So I'm going to just go backwards. And forwards. And I'm lining it up as close as possible to my score line. Fold the center again and then fold again. And the last one. So it's going to look like this. And we'll put it down like so. So these two get adhered to the book. Okay. So each square is now 2.5 inches by 2 because we scored it 2. And I have already done the pre-cutting. Let me show you on the 2.5 by 2.5 inch sheet of their little cut aparts. Because they're just adorable. And you can pick. We do have to cut them down. So one thing I really loved was the Julys. And I did want to double mat. And I want to put or the 4th July, of course, that's about right. And then All-American at the end. And I do want to, I did double mat. You don't see a lot of it, but you do see it. So I'm going to still double mat, but you have all these you can pick from. Pretty cute, huh? Love them. And we've got America. So super cute for your cards. Summer celebration. So if you even want to go a different color. Now the fun part, we do have to trim these down. And I already cut my 3 blue and 3 red squares. So if you're wanting to do the double matting, these measure 1 7/8 by 2 3/8. Okay. And because I'm starting with the 4th, it's blue. So I'm going to go red, blue, red, blue. Oh, did she have that again? Oh, we got to get everything with cords put away for a while. But she's just a puppy. And blue. So these are already cut 1 7/8 by 2 3/8. So I already know what those are. But we've got to cut these down. And this is where I wish I had my smaller cutter. Because we need to cut our little squares come out when you cut them. They're like about 2.5 by 2.5. We need to cut these down so that they are about 1 3/4 if you want some of that red border to show. So again, I'm just going to start and we're going to cut slow because we don't want to cut off too much. And there's 2 1/4. And I'm going to turn it and cut it at 2. So I'm cutting at 1/4 inch increments to see and make sure we don't cut off any important lettering. Then we're going to cut it at, well, I only have this side left. So I'm going to cut it down to 1 3/4. It looks like I did take a little bit of my 4 off, just a little bit. But width-wise, it's going to fit nice. So these will be cut down to 1 3/4. And then we already cut our little squares down to 2 3/8. So we want to take this to 2 1/8. And they come out to be about, right now mine's 2 3/8. So I'm just going to take 1/8 off to 2 1/4. Sometimes I'll just take little 16ths off or the full 8 to make it symmetrical. And then it gives that nice border. Okay, so that is, you know, this little project just has some tedious cuts to it, but nothing major. Okay, let's cut our first one and our last one. Again, just do your 1/4 inch. Ooh, he may not work. I may cut off a little too much, but let's see. I don't want to cut off any of the Americans, so I think that's going to be fine. We may not. Oh, we may barely make it. Let's see here. Oh, we barely made it. And he's crooked. Of course I cut him crooked. So let's see something else. If you can find one with a good border, like, well, the American flag, because it looked okay still cut down. So I think I'll go with it again. Let me see. I cut off a little too much because I cut it crooked. So let's go with the American flag because it really did work well. Well, we're not using that one either because we just cut too short. We just cut into it before. I'm getting a little anxious here. Okay. So we got to look at our cut aparts and see what will work. I cut into him. See, some of them I just can't cut. You can't cut too short without. Oh, hold on. Let me get a mute here. She walked by her brother. Okay, I've got my tray because I had 2 sheets of these. So I cut another one because I'd have the 4th of July. It scared me too, Tiffany. I'm so sorry. That's what Wilbur does if he doesn't want her near him. And you know, I don't know. He's not attacking or anything. He's just being, I would say it on camera, but I can't. There we go. I have another one. So we're going to attempt to cut this again. Let me put my tray over here. So I did use 2 sheets because I made 2 of these because I wanted July. Yeah, I am really sorry, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do this again the right way, right? 2, and whatever happens on this one, we are using him. And 2 3/4, we're going to have to cut off his tail, which is just fine. I'm going to cut it 2 1/4. and 2 1/8. Okay, that one's much better. I went wonky at the top and I didn't like it. That's Wilbur. It's not that he's not playing nice. He's just mouthy. He's the most verbal beagle I've ever had. He was my first beagle. What am I saying? He's a turkey. Okay, let's start with our letters. So July. Again, we are going to have to cut off all that border because we need to bring this down to 1 3/4. So I'm just kind of taking quarters and eighths off till I get to 2 3 or 1 3/4. Then we need to bring it down to 2 1/8, which I would need to take an eighth off the top and eighth off the bottom. Because it all just kind of depends on how you cut yours. And then 2 1/8. And 2 1/4. 2 1 7/8, and then I'll turn it back and do 1 3/4, and it keeps it nice and symmetrical. I cut up too much of the blue, but it's okay. Oh, is Tanya here? Hi, Nancy pal. How are you? Well, I haven't seen you in a while. 2 1/4. 2 1 7/8, and 1 3/4. 2 1/4. 2 1/8. Okay, we got our letters. And back the camera. I love these colors. They're so pretty. Okay. Make sure you spell it right. J-U. Uh-oh. We got it blue on blue, guys. So I think this happened before. And I did change it to red in the center. And blue at the end. Or we could pop in some white, but we're doing white. You'd even pop in a gold if you wanted on this end one, but it looks okay. See, I did red, blue, red, blue, blue. And it looks just fine. Okay, let's put our cardstock on, the solid cardstock. I'm sorry about the noise. My husband's a real trooper, though, keeping them playing and quiet. It's just the noise goes right down the stairs to the studio. I need Tiffany here to babysit the puppies because they love her. Homer even let her take him in her car, and I just about had a heart attack. Homer has never. He doesn't go in the car with anybody. I taught my little beagle well. Hi, Nicole. And she came in the store one day and she says, I'm going to take Wilbur home. And I'm like, no, you're not. He's not going to go in the car with you. And you know what that little stinker did? He went in the car with her. I could not believe it. Hi, Crafty Chris. Happy 4th. Oh, you're going to love Charlotte, Tiffany. She is, Charlotte is really a little lady. She truly is, but she doesn't really take it from the boys. But she's such a girl because if she gets hurt while playing or they look at her wrong, she goes crying and runs to her daddy. She loves him. See, you don't even notice I cut his tail off. So we are now going to add all of our little squares to this guy. I'll do the first and the last one. Then I'll fill in the center pieces. I don't think my husband has the phone because I was hoping he'd bring me down that eagle so I can show it to you. Oh, thank you, Tiffany. All the projects have been so fun. Okay, so I want to show you another project. It's not a Country Craft Creations project, but if you follow Jennifer Maker on the Cricut, she has this free file, and I made this last night. And you guys, this is another fun one. I only do, Jennifer Maker, she just teaches you a lot about the Cricut, and all you have to do is sign up for her newsletter. If you go sign up for her newsletter, now listen, this is file 381. You get free Cricut projects. And else you do, it's already been like scored for you. You just have to bend it. And she's got the instructions there, but I made this last night. Isn't it cute? Look, it moves. And you can make it as an owl. So I had to show you guys this. And this is all artisan cardstock except for the gold. Came out so beautiful and cut so nice. So yes, go to Jennifer Maker and just sign up for her newsletter, because if you've been wanting to use your Cricut and you're really scared of it, our designer, of course, we've got Jennifer, who's done some videos. It's been a while since she's done them. I mean, they're older, but they're in our files. But Jennifer's also got the free files and shows you how to cut those cool things. Isn't that amazing? So go dust off your Cricuts. Yeah, I was so excited to make it. And to be honest with you, it only took me an hour. If that. And if you cut it with artisan, it's going to cut beautifully. So you won't have a mess on your. Oh yeah, Jacqueline. I'm sorry. You know what? Yes, Jacqueline actually has some beautiful files. If you did Jacqueline's project today, listen, support her, not just because she's on the team, but because she is super talented and she's got some fabulous cut files that go with the projects for our design team. You know, I don't advertise it enough. And some of them, she does ask for a fee, not a lot, but she does all the work and she creates them. So you're really helping to support an independent artist and an artist of country craft creation. So that's even more awesome. Yes, Jacqueline does. And Jacqueline offers a lot of her stuff free with the CCC projects. So that's why definitely I encourage you, if she has some you love, just pop her over a few dollars that she asked for. Glue on the edge, because that's why she does it for you guys, because she knows how much you love the designer's projects. So we can just give back to her a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to, how about we let this dry? You know, it's cold down here. Wasn't her file so cute for that? What do you call those index card thingies? I want to start making them. Come on, somebody. Everybody's making them. And I used to think, oh, they're, what are people making those for? But they're really cute. Memory decks. Thank you. Nicole on one of our virtual retreats made a memory decks file box with the swimming pool. And I was just looking at that the other day because I need to make that still. Okay, so what we want is these two down. Okay, these two down, these two up, and these two down. So it looks like this. And let's grab our book. These are going to be helpful again, so I'm going to keep them. Remember, we did go short here because we didn't want all that bulk. Now we're going to just glue these down. And we're going to center this into the center as well as possible. But I just want to do one side first. And you'll see why here in a second. Bring it to that outer edge. Bring it to the bottom. See, you have quite a bit of thickness there. And we are using a wet adhesive, so we are going to hold it for a second. So you can kind of see what we're going to do here, because we want it to close flat. And that does kind of, it's loose, it's dangling. That's what you want, because you want it to close. There we go. See, you'll see it slide in that way. So, fold it down. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for just a second. Believe it or not, your art glitter glue does become tackier the more it sits, if you noticed your finger. Okay. So let's just fold this. And this is, you're going to have to move it manually. There we go. Move it manually so it's on the edge. But the whole point is I'm trying to bend those there to make a memory. Okay. Super, super simple. Okay, let's grab the belly band piece that's 1.5 by 12. And you know what? This can be actually as wide as you want it. And it can be as skinny as you want it. This one's a little bit skinnier because I just grabbed a scrap piece, but I found that I did want it wider. So now we're going to close our book. Right now it's really stiff. Well, thank you. And I'm going to take my piece of cardstock, and you'll notice it does kind of come at an angle. Let's see, our book comes at an angle. Now, if you put it down here at the bottom, which you would want to do, then it will be a little bit wider on this outside edge. But I'm just going to put my paper about halfway in, lightly bend it, and then we'll do some scoring. Bend it over the edge. And of course, we'll do some cutting. Take our bone folder up on those edges. Now, if you want, you can now put it into your scoreboard. So for me, you probably can go by these measurements. I'm going 2 5/8. It looks like 7 7/8 and 7 3/8. Now yours could be a little bit different, or you can just go ahead and score it at 2 5/8, 6 7/8, and 7 3/8. It does. It looks like a sailboat. Yes. I'm going to wrap that around again, and we're going to see how well this fits. Now I'm just going to cut it. I'm just going to cut it with my scissors because we're tucking this back behind. And I want to leave about an inch on this bottom piece. And this is just the easiest way for me to make a belly band, because we've got an unfinished edge. Now we're just going to wrap this over the top. We're not going to see this here anyway, because we're going to be decorating it in just a minute. Make a mark. So I'm just going to hold my thumb there. Now you're going to notice it's super tight at the bottom, so it will always go over the top. Okay, now we're going to mat this little piece. And I did cut a piece of my cardstock, and it is 1 3/8. I just left it at 12 because I just didn't know how long I'm going to need it. But it looks like my first piece is going to be 4 1/8 by 1 3/8. And it should be, yep, we're going to need 2 pieces, 4 1/8. And then I am going to do this. Oh, you know what though? I'm going to do the little tiny end, but there we go. I have these pieces left from when I cut. Okay, and they work. Yay, 3/8. So this is 1 1/2. There we go. And as you can see from the belly band, you're not really going to see except for the back, especially the front. And I just put the seam in the front, so you can choose. I'm going to go with the hearts. Then our back and the side. feel like I should be playing patriotic music, but Facebook would kick it off. Copyrights, copyrights. Okay, and let's put our little end piece on. How did I manage that? It's too long. Good thing there's lines here to follow. Okay, let's decorate. Like I said, this one, of course, it was a brand new pack, so I had the cream of the crop, right, to pick from. And on this one, what I'm going to use is, oh, no, we're going to do the front of the book. Sorry. Let's do the front of the book really quick because let me get my piles over here. That one's for that one. That one's for that one. And this is for here. And the balloon. And I'll show you what I'm using. Okay. So for this one, I chose Home of the Brave. And we're going to add the firecracker kind of behind there. This one I used the Land That I Love. Oh, Lordy, here they come. You know, if you want to play ball in the hall, you can close that door. I know, they're tired. It's hot. They're hot. And, oh. Happy 4th of July, put here at the top. And I want to show you. So I wanted to, let's see, we've got Hooray for the Red, White, and Blue with the white. Let's see, we have Family Tradition. These are really fun to use. America the Beautiful. I have to go with America the Beautiful. Now, what I did for the back, because I did want it to look layered, and I know I could cut one, but I did just cover up the other word just to make it look. Let me show you. So I put that one down first, and then I put that on top. I know. You're probably thinking, why don't you just cut a new one? Well, because this one's straight, and my cutter doesn't want to let me cut it. So see, where there's a will, there's a way. So first we're going to just kind of put this together, and I'm offsetting it. So the red will show. On both ends. Then I'll put this down at the top. And I really did want to pop everything up, but the belly band, the way, oh my gosh, well, we're stuck. Because of the belly band needing to slide. Okay, does anybody have a heart attack? See, we need to slide that over the top because it's not going over the bottom. Okay, so that part's done. So now let's decorate the belly band. So I'm going to start with a balloon, and a great big firework. I'm going to center that there. To my balloon. bring our firecracker out. And kind of arrange things. See, here was this other one. I had this all figured out last night. Oh, he's getting nutty again. Okay, let's just put her down. So we have to work from the back. I mean, from the bottom to the front. So, layer him over. This I am going to use a foam dot. I'm going to put this one flat. And if you have any enamel dots, great place for it. If not, and you want to add a heart, super cute. Super cute. And that will be my cover. And this one is this one, which is really cute because then if you're going to give them as gifts, then they'll have different ones, especially if you have children. Okay, let's do the inside. We're getting there. The two I cut out from this one are the favorite things and family traditions. I did not, oh, I did. So we will want to cut some backing for this. And I'm going to use probably blue on the inside, I think. And I'm just using another piece of the Doodlebug texture paper. There we go. So we want to mat these. We're going to decorate these. Then we'll decorate the inside here. And then we'll be done with our little book. Perfect. Just, to put those firework pictures in. So we've got a 3 by 8 inch. They should both be the same. And cardstock. So that I just have a nice little border. Let's go with 3 1/8. I'm going a little bit over. And it will be 8 1/8. The backs are so pretty too. I love it. Okay, down it goes. And I cut it just a little too long. And that one's fine. Seems like my videos are always the longest. I'm sorry, guys. Of course, the live ones, you never know what's going to happen during a live. Dogs are going to bark, cause problems. Questions are asked, so that's okay. I don't know about you, but I was looking forward to crafting tonight, especially with this adorable land that I love collection. But do go, if you really love it, go grab it. What we've got left is it on the website. It is one of Doodlebug's. Even it's an older line, but it's not old. It never gets old. That's the awesome thing. It's still in style and usable. Now, I wanted to decorate these. I wanted them to stick out the top. So that's what these are, sticking out the top. But because I didn't want the back side just to be white. Well, this one is. I could have put something on the opposite side, but what I'm going to do is I chose these balloons, and I am going to just cover. I'm not going to use them as balloons. Kind of. They'll look like it. Oh, we'll end up. So, I really don't want to cover the family traditions. I didn't check that first. So these are going to go back behind. And actually, then I will take my fourth and put it in the back. So it looks like it's a white background. You could even use just pattern paper. But when you see it from that side, you're going to see the fourth. So I just want to add a little bit of adhesive here at the bottom. So our firework sticks up. We had well, you know, when poor Bagel was alive, her and Journey, they didn't handle him well. I think it's when the dogs get older. We had a bunch of fireworks in the neighborhood last night, and they did great. I was worried. Now the puppy was a little bit like, oh, what's this? But she's only 12 weeks old. So she really hasn't experienced a lot of life when you think about it. And she did really well. And they were still lighting them off at 10:50 at night, as they would say, bless their little hearts, right? They can't wait till the 4th of July. And you know what worried me is, yes, I know we shouldn't complain, because all the Facebook groups for the city say, is that all you've got to complain about for people? I just listen and I watch, because it's like, grab the popcorn. The fight's going to start, right? Some people have to medicate their dogs, and some veterans have to be medicated, or not just veterans, but people who have been with PTSD. And so they're not supposed to shoot them off, but they do. I mean, what are you going to do? Okay, so now this one's going to show to the outside. So, and that's just what people were saying. Please, you know, the law is, we haven't medicated our dog. And it is stressful for some older, especially when they get older. But now you really don't see it from this side, but you will see it that way. Watch when it's down in here, because I wanted this to stick over the top. So you see it from the back side. Cute, huh? Okay, let's do the same with this one. And so for this one, I chose a bunch more because I just was loving them all. And then the back side will be the American flag sticking out the front. It's going to be cute. It's going to be really cute. Now for this one, whoops, looks like I'm going to be able to put some on the front, some on the back, and I am covering the face. So let's just play for a minute and see what we're thinking we want. I did want that cloud, but I don't. I'm going to, there you go. See, all you have to do is cover that face up. And we definitely need a popsicle. I just couldn't decide here, guys. And then we need a star sticking out. So you can go as wild and crazy as you like. You know what? Journey was deaf too, Diane. But it was still a problem for her. She can feel it. The dogs can feel it. And when we had horses in our backyard, our neighbors used to shoot them and it'd go in the hay. And we had some hay fires and it really scared them. And I'm like, oh, you guys. But it's okay. It is what it is. I was going to do that, but I ended up talking here. So, my little popsicle. I was supposed to put that in front. Nope, then it covers our pretty flowers. Oh, it did. But you know, we were told, quit complaining. It's the 4th of July. So we did. We just went out with the hose. I like that. So we would just go out with the hose. And we stopped complaining. And it's like, if you started on fire, you started on fire. Oops. We live kind of like out here in the country, but some of them are kind of grouchy at times. I guess we won't use him. There we go. Okay, now there's the front. And in the back, see, we don't want all that to show, right, on the outside. So American flag will go on top. So yeah, I imagine our neighborhood is going to be quite crazy on the 4th of July. I know my kids want to do fireworks, so. But we do make them stop at a decent time. Yeah, they don't want us to tie them up either. And I can see that. Okay, so there is my 2 cards. And if you still don't like the white, you definitely can cover those with your pattern paper. Oh, okay, Nicole, you want to cut the first piece is 8 1/4 by 8 3/4, and the second piece is 8 1/4 by 8 1/2. So the height is 8 1/2, and then your width comes out to be, so it's 4 by 8 1/2. Cute, huh? Now let's decorate this part because I put all that stuff there. And I thought I had all that sitting out, but I guess I didn't because I had, I wanted to put All American here, hanging over the top. Really wanted this piece. Isn't this darling? But I guess I could have folded it. That would have been so cute, but no, we're not going to fold it. Okay. Now, we definitely need our eagle because he matches there. And we need some of our stars. definitely need some of our stars. Hearts. A few things left. I've got some more. I'm telling you, I have been using a lot of this. There we go. I did some other cute things here. And I think that's plenty. Let's we have a little tiny red one. No, I've used all the red ones. And those are all the big pieces that are left. Now I wouldn't use any foam in here because it might hit onto each other. Back. Oh, that tray, you can get those also. Yeah, if you get some with cookies in it, keep that tray. If not, run up to the dollar store. Run up to the dollar store because they have them over where the party dishes and things are. And they are great separators. So I bought 3 of them because they also will work really well with your G45 ephemeras. And that way you don't have to dig through the package. And then use another one for the G45 flowers. Speaking of which, I'll be using the new G45. As you know, we're like the first store to get it. So I have it in stock. It's no longer pre-order. And I'll be showing it tomorrow. And I will be starting a project with it. These trays, Denise, so you can pick these up at the Dollar Tree. I bought a bunch of them, and they have different sizes depending on your Dollar Tree. And then you sort your ephemera. Then what I do is I take the big ephemera, the little ephemera, and I put them in bags, and then I put it in one big bag. Excuse me. So when I go to use it again, it's already sorted for me. And I usually do big, medium, and small. And Jennifer has done a really good tutorial, and so did Sally on a live on sorting your ephemera and things. Oh, see, we've got some little tiny hearts that I was looking for. They made their way over. Anyway, these are so great. You're going to love them. Then they stack and you can put them away. So this is the completion of my project. And if you do not have G45, if you do not have Doodlebug, but you've got Echo Park and all the ephemera, you still can use it this way. And also, if you have the little tiny printer, you can print out your 2x3 photos, cut them and put them there instead of July. And how cute is that? So let's go ahead and put our belly band on now. I forgot to check this. I should have checked it first. So what we do in that case, you take these out, and we're going to slide those in a second. Okay. And, you know, you could make that magnetized. I didn't goes this way. And kind of pull them so that you'll see both if you want, or you can change those around. And then this is my first one. And that will loosen up. But that is, oh, and then you have these guys. So these will go inside also. If you want to use any more of your cut aparts and just poke them in there with the big ones. And that is our 4th of July, my project for the 4th of July hop. Oh, don't fall out. And my folio. And it has a lot of stuff. And I'm going to put this back on. What do they say? Come hell or high water. Okay, once we get the band there, see, nothing will fall out. So there we go. I hope you are having a wonderful 4th of July weekend. And I think I was the last one. I was bringing up the rear, wasn't I? And if you missed any of the videos, just head on over to, oh, it won't go from the bottom up because see this thickness? Unless you, now this one I've been playing with, so I can get it off the bottom. This one, I can eventually get it off the bottom, but right now, oh, it's starting to loosen up. It's pretty tight. So once you play with it, it does loosen up. That one I had to sit and play with for quite a while. So I'll just play with this one too, or just make your belly band bigger. But I didn't want the belly band to fall off. So there is the folio, just really cute. Few photos, give it to your friends or neighbors, or keep it for yourself because you're going to love it so much. And I hope you guys all have a happy 4th of July. Like I said, I just got to correct a few things on the cutting guide, and I will get that put on scrapbookers for you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.